I must be absolutely mad. It is about 1 degree out there and there's sleet coming down on a 45-degree angle, and I'm just about to meet a friend and go for a walk in this because this is how desperate we are for some human contact. Oh man. However, I got a few more minutes before my friend's turning up, and I thought I would share some thoughts around something. I have finally filed for divorce 6 months after I ended my marriage. So why did it take me 6 months? And was that a good thing or a bad thing? It took me 6 months for a number of reasons. The reason it wasn't is I was not hoping that we still could patch things up. When I ended things, I was done. I stayed in that marriage, and I fought for it for a very, very, very long time, past the point where I probably should have pulled the plug. So when I was done, I was done. There was no point of return for me. But I wanted to give us some time to try and learn to function as separate co-parents. And I'm not sure it has really helped, to be honest. I think we are still severely lacking in our ability to communicate with each other, and there's a lot of anger and resentment and hurt that makes things quite difficult. Where things work is obviously around Elin's healthcare needs. We are very much in accord of what we want there, and in terms of how we want to raise the children, we are in accord as well, but we are not so much in accord in terms of how we relate to each other. So that's one of the reasons was I wanted to give it a little bit of time, but I've given it time, and I'm done giving it time. Another reason is forms and important paperwork freak me out. They make me feel very, very anxious and very, very stressed out. And to be honest, things are kind of stressful enough as it is, trying to learn to function as a single special needs mom and not having a job and not knowing really when my finances are going to be under any kind of control. And I mean, there's a lot of extra stress that comes with that. So I have deliberately chosen to leave that particular stressful event on the side for a while longer, because I've had so many other things, so much other stress, so many things that I suppose make me feel a bit anxious and unhappy, that I didn't need to add that as well. On the other hand, now that I have done it, I feel quite relieved that it's over. I know it's not over. I know it's only just started. We're going to have to divide our assets and all of those kinds of things, and that's going to be difficult as well. And oh my god, that's even more paperwork. Okay, but the first big step is done. I swallowed one frog. Have you heard of the swallow the frog analogy for productivity? You do the task that you want to do the least first, so you swallow the frog and then you get on with your day. Yeah, so those are my main two reasons for why I waited so long to file for divorce. Partly because I wanted to give us a little bit of time to settle into our new status, and partly because actually it's a stressful thing for me to do. Was it a good or a bad thing that I waited so long? I don't know. I think time will tell. As I said, in terms of hoping that we would function as separate co-parents, no, it didn't matter. It didn't matter that I waited so long, because as I said, we don't. For my stress levels, yes. How do I think that my ex-husband is going to react? Oh, I don't think it's going to be easy for him. I filed on grounds of behavior because that was the route that was open to me, and that means writing down the reasons why I feel that the marriage has irrevocably broken down. It was not a nice thing to write, and I'm absolutely certain that it's going to be a very, very unpleasant thing to have to read. But here is actually where I think maybe waiting 6 months was a good idea, because it's given me a bit of perspective and a bit of distance to the things that were going on in our marriage and how I felt, and how I interpreted what was going on. And my interpretation has actually changed a lot while I was in it. To be honest, I shrugged most of it off. Kind of going, yeah, well, you know, things happen, shit happens, pardon my language. And now that I sat actually writing it down and putting it in a form, and I was looking at it, I was going, I lived this. Why did I allow myself to live this? Why did I put up with things? Why did I just accept them for being a kind of normal that it's not normal? So yeah, in that respect, I suppose it was good, because it's giving me a bit of distance in a way that allows me to accept that things were really, really, really tough. They were really bad. It was a very, very challenging situation I was in, and to recognize that, and to recognize that even when you have young children and a child with very complex needs, and say, this cannot continue the way it is, I have to make a change here. I think, if I'm allowed to say this, I think that was a brave decision on my part to say, enough is enough, this can't go on. So yeah, that's what I did, and now I think I can see my friend parking up next to me. Excellent. Right, so I am going to wrap up this vlog here so that I can go and get a coffee from Costa, and then apparently I am heading outside in 45-degree angle sleet. It's coming down like that, so it's really unpleasant. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Oh, why are we so stupid? Because we are desperate for some human contact and some adult conversation. That's why. Our daughters are extremely close friends with each other, Alice and her daughter, and yeah, we get on very well. And she's one of these people who's got her head screwed on, right? So I think having a chance to talk to her about what I did yesterday in terms of filing for divorce is going to do me a world of good. So I'm going to end it here. Thank you for listening to my ramblings, as always. Subscribe. I don't know if this is is this a shareable video? Is this something that people relate to? I hope it is. Otherwise I'm wasting everybody's time. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.